Welcome to the Judgment Free Zone. You've downloaded the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast, episode number 12 for June 20th, 2022.
Now, adjust the volume control so that the sound can be heard in all parts of the room.
Recorded live from the cornfields of Central Illinois, you're listening to the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast with Matt and Amy. Come and learn and share a journey with two former craft beer enthusiasts who went from daily drinkers to teetotalers and basically never lost their love for their life together.
Hey, a freak show!
Well, hello, children. Welcome back to your weekly freak show that is the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast. I am Matt, along with the always lovely Coach Amy. How are you, my love?
I don't know why you call us a freak show.
I don't know. This is what I call the...
I don't think we're a freak show.
That's just what the intro
Well, maybe we are.
Who knows, you know?
Maybe to some people we are.
P.S. Amy, the mics are still live when the intro's playing, so if you snap along, it plays through the audio. Just letting you know. Just letting you know that. Right before we started the show, Amy said, maybe we need two cameras for the video on YouTube. I go, no.
Well, the reason I said that is because I know... Oh, okay, let's stop right now. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
I wanted to let you know, I know it'll be
it's
Monday,
feeling like just every other day, but...
But no, happy Father's Day. Now I will continue with the mental torture.
Happy Father's Day, the seventh most popular holiday of the United States, right below Halloween.
I know, that is so sad.
Dressing up
it actually makes
as a
me
slutty
feel
nurse
bad.
is more popular than Father's Day. Thank you very much. Anyway, here we are. Yes, thank you.
No, back to
The cameras?
The cameras. It's just because I know now with your video business and your photography business, I've just learned these little things. Oh, maybe
You know how to play in my OCD.
I can just hit that little button. Ooh, I wonder if he'll do this. If I say this, will it happen? Because
sadly,
things
probably.
have.
I know, because you play into my video AV OCD, and I'm like, well,
But it's your creativity too.
yes, would it look better and be really cool? Sure, but is it more overhead than I think I need for our three listeners?
Absolutely.
Probably. Yeah.
I hope we have more than 3 listeners,
We do have more than 3 listeners.
which is awesome.
So speaking of listeners, thank you for all your feedback and responses, and continue to like, subscribe, comment. It always helps us out. And if you want to send us feedback, that's feedback@afmpodcast.com. You can always do a voice memo on your phone and send us a little, I guess it wouldn't be a voicemail, but it'd be voicemail-like. We love to hear your sultry sounds of your voice.
Yes, and then we will
Play those.
because that will fill up time. So please, or you're gonna make Matt get a hotline, because I know that we used to have one of those.
Yeah, we used to have 206-888 Geek. See, and I still remember the phone number. It's like a childhood phone number.
You are a geek.
Now, if you call it, don't call it. I have no idea what you're going to get.
I don't know that.
You may get...
I don't know. Now I might want to call it. Let's find out. Let's see
Hello.
what.
Thank you for calling 888 Geek. What's your nerdy fantasy? Moving on. Amy, how was your week?
Maybe my week was really good. The conversations that you get into now, that I get into now, being alcohol free, that just kind of...
And being a coach and...
Yeah, but they just come out of nowhere. And they're great conversations, but they go... What I've also learned is they go deep. And they often go deep fast when you are not expecting it. And now I feel like I've been able to make better and closer connections with people on a much quicker time frame.
Well, I think because you're asking questions that most people don't ask, because most people aren't talking about.
Well, I know, but
The sober
even
life.
just in general. It's like you might be talking about your kids, and then it just leads to the next conversation, and it goes into, a past relationship, and then I start to share my story, and then they open up about their story, and let's just say, things do come up and you start to you just have closer, more meaningful relationships is one of the absolute joys that has come out of this.
Well, like you said, the pro tip is just start talking and don't focus on talking to people about sobriety. Just talk to people you know and it can organically come out.
Yeah, and just talk to them about themselves and what's going on in their lives and sharing and just real connections. That's, I think, honestly, one of the most wonderful things that has come out of all of this.
Real connections or real conversations?
Real connections, real conversations, deeper conversations with people, more meaningful conversations, less superficial conversations.
Yes, I would agree based on the conversations you shared.
Less weather talk.
Less weather talk. Speaking of the weather, your forecast for the cornfields this week is no. Well, I apologize. I should not have been playing in the garage prior to the podcast because now I'm all kind of snotty from the dust and whatnot. So I apologize in advance. If
you have a deep, sultry voice.
I know, and I don't even have any extra filters turned on. It's just my natural flummy voice, I guess. I had a great week as well. My ironic moment of the week was I was contacted to shoot a promotional video for a tequila company, which was, I'm like, okay, I mean, whatever.
Tell them about the event that was local.
So there's the event in town called Tailgate and Tall Boys. It's a 3-day music festival, and I mean, it's a country music festival. So
yeah,
let your mind wander into what that is like. And it's fun. I mean, I don't think it wasn't out of control crazy, but there's obviously lots of drinking. I mean, it's called Tailgate and Tall Boys. Tall Boys referencing tall beers, if you don't know. But so yeah, this tequila brand was just doing an activation, a big promotional space, and wanted to have a video shot. So I mean, I don't. It doesn't bother me to shoot a video for a liquor company, whatever. Money's money. But the one thing that struck me was I anticipated, and maybe it's from my time in doing projects for the hospitality industry, where if you're doing shoots for alcohol, people are always drinking it around you, like while they're doing it. The people working there, like it's just part of what happens. I mean, it's not good, bad, or otherwise, just how it works. So I kind of anticipated, like, because they're doing free shots and margaritas, and it's a country music festival, blah blah blah. I figured all the employees and those working it, like, would be sampling the wares and that type of stuff, and they would be like a party atmosphere. Not at all. They weren't. I did not, and maybe they did, and I didn't see it, but I did not see one person taste, sample, drink any of the alcohol, which I was amazed. And then they consequently didn't offer me any, so there was none of that weird, like, no, I don't drink weirdness or whatever. But I thought it was interesting that nobody who worked in the tequila brand was drinking.
But don't you think on a 3-day festival, all-day festivals, that would be
problematic.
Really problematic.
Yeah. Plus it's hotter than hell, and you're out there for 8 hours. So I kind of understand the practicality of why you wouldn't, but I thought it was interesting that none of them did. They had a very professional mentality. It's El Bandito if you're into tequila. They had a very professional attitude. So I don't know.
We should contact them and see if they're going to
do non-alcoholic.
Go into the alcohol-free or NA spirits.
Maybe. I don't know what's involved with NA spirits.
I don't either. But we will be finding out more in a couple of weeks.
We will. Stay tuned for our upcoming
one of our guests. Very exciting.
Well, and speaking of alcohol-free, what is your drink of the week?
Oh, shoot.
Glad I wrote it down for you.
Well, I had it last night. It is I think you pronounce this either Giesen or Giesen. It's New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
There's a lot of words in there you have trouble with.
And it's GiesenWines.com. But this was one that I found.
Giesen is Giesen.
Aren't you going to? Oh, for those of you who.
Those who are listening, not on the YouTubes watching.
There you go. So I put what you put, we are on a mission to change the way de-alcoholized wines are made and how they should taste. And this was the wine that I have had that I thought was actually real wine by mistake one time because it
looks like it, it tastes like it.
And I tasted it and I'm like, uh-oh.
Got the wrong glass.
But I don't know. And that could be over time.
Well, right.
Your taste buds change, but it is a very nice wine, I can actually drink it the way I wanted to drink wine in the past as much
No, you did
as I
drink
wanted.
your wine that same way. You drank the whole bottle all the time.
Yes, but I didn't feel horrible either. I wanted to.
I was kind of laughing when you made that comment last night. You're like, I'm finally drinking it the way I want. I'm like, you're finishing the bottle. Of course, that's what you did before.
Oh, I didn't. I did not finish the bottle. There is still.
There's a splash.
But it was.
Price to flavor, it's probably one of the best.
I would say.
There's another good one, Luminaire. It's like $20 a bottle. This is like $12.99, I think.
Yeah, this was
so.
actually like in my price point. It would have been more of my higher end. I was a little bit above that, $2 chuck. But
High-end table wine.
it was very nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, my drink of the week is Clever. I actually brought one down. Clever G&Tonic, short for Gin and Tonic. It's a premium non-alcoholic cocktail. Comes in a 12 fluid ounce can. I think they make bottles too. Inspired from classic English gins, our Clever Gin and Tonics start with a distillate, but talking about big words, distillate botanical infusion of juniper berry green. Oh wow, I should have read this before I pasted this in to read. It tastes like gin and tonic. I'm gonna skip over all that. That's way too bougie. I will say, anybody who's ever tried the NA spirits, they don't quite hit the mark. But this is a nice. I think this is another one of those. I said the boat. Like, it's a good crisp evening, complex beverage. If you put it head to head with a real gin and tonic, I think you're going to be disappointed.
But
it's still good.
it's minus all the poison.
It is minus all the poison. I would give 2 points for minus all the poison.
Minus the poison.
And I can drink it like I like to drink gin and tonic before. All of it.
You're such a jerk. Happy Father's Day. I'm glad I'm not going to be here the rest of the day with you.
No. You're going to go see your dad. So, all right, Amy. Well, we've had interviews the last week or 2 weeks. I don't know, last week at least.
And I hope everybody has enjoyed them. And please let our guests, show them some love as well. They are awesome people, and we're going to have a couple on this next week, I believe. And so I'm really excited about their story. They're people I've met. Once again, I mean, you're going to get to know a lot of This Naked Mind coaches. But
we have.
But she's an Aussie, and
good. We need to introduce some linguistics.
It's going to be fun. And then she ended up coming over to America, met her husband online, and came over, and they got married, and it's going to be a fun story.
And we have Jane from Amethyst Cocktails.
Yeah,
Amethyst
Spirits.
Thank you.
NA Spirits.
Yes. So
yeah. So
stay tuned.
We are excited. I really am. I'm loving the interview. Getting used to that process. And so, if you have other questions that you would like us to ask our guests, please let us know. Uh-oh.
Booze News of the Week with your hosts, Matt.
Do we need to have a screen, like a green screen behind you?
Oh, so it looks like that
so
news
it comes
desk?
up, yeah.
Booze News for Week ending June. What about, I don't know, anyway. I already have the little thing on YouTube that looks like the little globe, like Booze News of the World.
Oh, there you go.
Whatever,
yeah, so tune in to our YouTube channel.
And usually this is Booze News Matt finds, but Amy found this. I had a couple from last time, but I scratched them because this one I think we both have a lot of good feedback to. And I'm going to ask the audience hold their comments until I read the details of the story so the audience can understand.
Well, no, I think we should have them. Yes, they can hold their comments, but also go and read the article for yourself.
What I'm saying is, Amy, don't say anything until I finish reading. This is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, doggone it. He's being polite. Huh, there's a first.
You are my audience. All right. So the headline is, why have, and this kind of falls under the, trying to find stories that support what you want to believe. Why having a beer gut may actually be good for you. Now, they do have beer gut in quotes. Beer may have joined red wine among vices with a healthy edge, as a new study revealed that a lager a day, whether alcoholic or not, keeps the
gastroenterologist
away.
Oh my gosh. Can you believe I said that word right?
I know. Good job. Gastroenterologist away, for men at least. The findings published in the American Chemical Society's journal, one of my favorites. Oh, no, American Chemical Society's Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry, Jesus,
Wow.
showed that men who drank one lager a day and had
more diverse
colon and
colony
Jeez, why am I reading
colony of healthy gut microbes.
compared to measurements taken before their daily beer regimen. Results from this study show that drinking beer increases gut bacterial diversity without significantly changing body weight. 19 men aged 23 to 58 had one 5% beer or NA beer a day. They were surprised to find that even the alcoholic brew, though too much, which can potentially wreak havoc on the gut, proved beneficial in moderate amounts. Nevertheless, here's the headline that's at the very bottom, bury the lead. Nevertheless, there are safer ways to build up microbiomes, such as eating foods rich in probiotics and prebiotics. This one strikes home to me because quitting drinking helped my gut health, which probably speaks to their last tip about, it can wreak havoc on your system.
And the beer gut, let me just say, if you saw the picture that they had, it was a very large beer gut. You do not get a very large beer gut drinking 1.5%.
No.
Beer.
Well, and I think they use that beer gut to kind of play into the whole...
no, it's called social currency.
When they're talking about your gut health, not your belly gut.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They're saying your beer gut. They're trying, but they're banking, once again, that somebody's going to read that headline and go, oh, see, drinking alcohol is good for me.
And having a big belly is good for me. It's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so let's just talk a little bit. I mean, people do know, but if this is the first time you've listened to this podcast, Matt had what?
IBS.
For a long time. For the
years and years and years.
From
and years.
and that was the start when you started drinking, right? In college?
It was basic. I mean, I don't know if this is a medical term, but it was basically alcohol-induced IBS. We'll call it that.
But you always attribute it to
a medication I took. But ironically, taking that medication coincided with about the time I started drinking alcohol.
Yep.
So
it makes sense that you would tie that together. And being that you never knew that I never knew. Nope. I had no idea until you quit that it was, because I even remember saying to other people on things, this happened with my husband. Everybody's like, yes, it happened to me too. This is awesome.
Yeah. So if you're drinking and have bathroom issues, try stop drinking.
Well,
tell you what, you want to talk about reasons to not drink? That is number one on my list. People are like, why don't you drink? I'm like, I don't want to poop. I mean, I want to, just not as often as I did before. But
you don't want to have to walk into any situation and immediately have to find where the bathroom is so that you can get there.
Well, and I think what's funny is they even say or a non-alcoholic beer, because in the story they talk about it's the fermentation process that's bringing in those microbes, right? So it has nothing to do with the alcohol. It's the fermentation process. That's why it's in the chemical journal of whatever.
And that goes right in line with eating more fermented food. Fermented. Sorry, what is so bad at this today? Wow, figuring out words.
We're actually friends with Grammar Girl. Should we reach out to Grammar Girl, see if she can?
Well, and let me just say, I do use that all the time now. But I want to I think that's the big thing. Once again, it's, social currency. We all look for things that are going to confirm what we want it to say. So, when
wine's good for you.
Wine's good for you. Red wine's good for you. So, and then, let's just drop the red because red wine gave me hot flashes and did all this stuff. So I'll just drink white wine. Well, then over time it did the same thing. It's like, well, really, how does it was the red wine or, those types of things. So you just.
Well, and how many people are really going to have, like you said, 5% beer a day?
No.
And if I can get the benefit from an NA beer, why not just drink the NA beer? Or there's 100 other ways to get it. So, I mean,
Probiotics.
Here, from my own personal history, I'm going to argue while you may increase the bacteria in your gut, I think the inflammation caused by the alcohol will negate any benefit you gain.
Absolutely.
I'm not a doctor, but I think
I
honestly
know
believe-
you are absolutely correct. And
I think you have a net zero.
And when you drink alcohol, because alcohol is ethanol, your body immediately is trying to process and get it out of your body. And so what it does is all that digestion that's going on, it slows down, like almost completely, because your body's like, whoa, we got to get down here. We got to get this out. So everything else gets put on lockdown. And so then that's how the alcohol then immediately ends up going and being stored as fat.
Right. So
Those calories.
So pro tip here, kids, is if you want to take advice from this is another reason to drink non-alcoholic beer.
There you go.
You get the benefits of the probiotic. Maybe that's another reason my gut health is better. I drink NA beer, so I get the probiotic, quote unquote, benefit. But I'm not drinking the alcohol to get the downside.
Well, if you go out to Athletic Brewing Company's site, I think they have a whole thing on that, because that's why they started.
Oh, for that.
Mm-hmm. They wanted.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Healthy alternative.
If you have bathroom issues, don't blame it on the rain. Blame it on the alcohol.
Well, in any article like this, when you see that headline,
well, it's totally designed to grab your attention.
it grabs you. Read it till the very end, because that's where the truth in the article is actually going to come out.
And that's half my point with doing booze news, is to point out that, positive or negative, I mean, it can be even anti-alcohol, and there still can be skews. Also, it's like, we studied this. Well, sure, you study people who drank a bottle of vodka a day. Well, that's not everybody. Just like not one beer a day is not everybody either.
But I would actually say that the majority of this, not even the overall majority of articles like this are skewed by the alcohol industry.
Oh, yeah.
They're sponsored by the alcohol industry.
To try and make it look
The
not
studies
as bad.
are sponsored by the alcohol industry. So, it's just like pharmaceutical companies. When you sit there and you watch it, I mean, who is sponsoring the news? Pfizer.
Well, and who wants to hear and read and do things about things that are told, well, that's bad for you, so nobody wants to read that.
No one wants to actually face the facts. I didn't want to face the fact that I couldn't sleep and I felt horrible, and it was caused by my consumption of alcohol. And yes, my overconsumption of alcohol. But you just need to be aware.
There you go.
Just once again, the goal of this is to be aware and to go in with your eyes wide open.
Amy, what you gonna do? Like that song, don't you?
All right, Coach
I do
Amy.
like that song.
You do like that song. This isn't really your tip of the week as much as you want to talk about summer triggers.
Well, yeah.
Trigger alert.
Well, no, in the summer, for me,
In the summertime.
when the warm weather, that time of year, we're going to be out on the patio, beer gardens,
Beaches and boats.
beaches. Everybody gets this warm, nostalgic, memories of your drinking past.
Yes.
And so you start to think, oh, would that be okay? Or would that be nice? Well, I always tell everybody, please play it forward. Play it forward to the anxiety and all of those things. But what I wanted to do is just give a few tips on if you have, or if you don't want to drink, or if you have quit recently, here's some things that you can do just to prepare yourself when you're going to outings and stuff like that, these different events. So first off, a lot of grad parties, outdoor barbecues, get-togethers. The first thing that I was told is always go in and have something in your hand. So if you're going into the party, either have a tumbler. I would walk in with either a bubbly water or something already, so that if somebody comes up, they're going to offer you something. Like, nope, I've already got this. I'm good for right now. And most people don't care. I mean, that was the big thing. It was like, oh, you already have something? I'm like, yeah, I've just been carrying along my own little drink with me. No one cares.
Well, and the longer I don't drink, the more I start noticing not everybody is drinking. In my head, I thought everybody's drinking.
Yeah,
When you go to things and don't drink, you realize there's actually a decent number of people here who aren't drinking or aren't like and those who are like personally like myself who were drinking, I really didn't care how much others were drinking anyway. Like I was just wanting to be sure I had my alcohol, so I didn't really care. As long as somebody else was drinking, so I didn't feel like I was the only one, I really didn't care.
Yeah.
So,
and then the other thing is, if you don't have a drink and you walk in, always be polite and own it. Oh, and just say, oh, thank you for asking. You know what? I am really thirsty. Could I have a bottle of water?
Yep.
You would not believe how many people, when I started to do that, would be, oh, yeah, hold on, let me grab you one. And nothing else.
And you don't have to say, oh, I don't drink alcohol.
No, you do not have to say anything. It's like, you can just say, oh, you know what?
Say what you don't want. Say what you do want.
Thank you so much. Because anybody who's coming in, the first thing you're going to ask them is, oh, can I get you something to drink?
Right.
We have been taught to make
Right.
people feel welcome. And how do we make people feel welcome? We give them drinks and we feed them.
And we talk about the weather.
Yes. So that would be my other idea as well. And then we put down boating.
Yes, what do you do on the boat, Amy?
I bring my own. Bring your own. And here's the big thing. On a boat, I mean, you've taken a boating safety class.
Yes.
Are you supposed to be drinking?
No. Well, the driver's not.
The driver's not. Huh. How many pictures and how many times have I been on other people's boats and the captain of the boat
Has a beer.
has a beer?
And you have pictures of me driving a boat with a beer.
I know. And then over time, you have to think about that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And DUIs on a boat are a thing, kids. Just
Yes,
saying.
they are. And when you are down at Lake of the Ozarks, look at how many boating
People die all the
accidents.
time.
Yep. And where we go is we go down to Table Rock Lake in Branson, and there have been accidents down there. And I can you know what, be extremely mindful. And it is, drinking and driving. Would you be in your car with a beer in your hand at the wheel?
Right. Well, but the lake is definitely one place that I really enjoy the NA or take advantage of the NA beers because that really helps. It feeds the nostalgia without the negative side effects. So like I can still have that beer and float on the water and feel and have the exact same experience literally that I would have had just without the alcohol. So.
Me too. And I do enjoy being on the boat and having like one of my NA seltzers or whatever, or just, I don't know.
Whatever.
For me, I don't even, a beer. I'm fine having an NA beer on the boat.
You were never a huge beer drinker anyway.
But not on the boat I would.
That's true. Yeah.
And on vacation. So that would be my other. Please don't drink and drive when you're on your boat.
No.
But
if not from you, for me.
Yeah, for everybody else out there.
Especially if you're renting a boat, because nothing is worse than boat renters. How's this saying work?
Sunny Sundays, I have you have put down. I would say that those kind of just also, that's like our backyard evening type thing that we would do.
Which is much more controlled and much easier.
Yeah, and it's controlled, but also for me, focusing in on relaxing, like the drink didn't relax me. Okay, yeah, it did, like for the first 20 minutes, but what I wanted to unwind, and I wanted to be on my patio, hanging out with you, and just enjoying that moment.
Right.
And enjoying the moment and the conversation with you or our son or whomever's over is not in that glass. And I just remember being so obsessed what was in my glass.
Right. Or how full it was.
Yes.
Or not.
So really focusing on that time together.
Right. Well, and keeping count of how many drinks.
And also being just mentally present in the moment. Like this weekend, like last night, the weather and being out on the patio all day yesterday, oh my gosh, it was just beautiful. And remembering, the weather and how everything, the smells, and our stinking little corgi barking at every single thing. Yes.
Things you'd like to forget.
So I think that would kind of tie in it.
And music festivals, since I was just at one, I think the cool thing was they actually had, and I actually drink this once in a while, Liquid Death, which is the water in a can. But Liquid Death, if you haven't seen it, is a...
Sorry.
Just put that microphone in front of you just now. Liquid Death, if you haven't seen it, is a... it's water in a can, but the label is very...
Tattooey?
Well, right. But I mean, it feels more like a alcohol-looking can than a
like,
water can.
It's water. It's edgy water. It's like, ooh, Liquid Death. But no, it's really life.
And it's like, some people are like, well, it's $5 a can. I'm like,
okay,
you've never paid $5 for a bottle of water?
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
but I think it was cool because if you're at that music festival and you still kind of look, I mean, you have the appearance of, you fit in, you don't stand out like you're drinking a Dasani bottle of water, you know. But so it still fit with the vibe of the whole event. But
at that yesterday, could you bring in your own? Oh, you couldn't? Okay.
Well, if you're staying on the campgrounds outside of the actual music space, you could that's the tailgate part, I guess. You could tailgate or you could camp and drink and do whatever you wanted over there. Once you came into the venue section, you couldn't bring your own alcohol.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you could pre-party if you wanted, then come in or whatever.
I was just curious about how that worked. But
it's so expensive to drink in there anyway. I mean, you're probably better off.
But you know what's really funny is now that I'm... okay, this is going to sound funny. I remember going to events. This is not funny. This is just the way it was. If you went to an event, you would... If it didn't have alcohol, people are known to sneak in their own drinks.
Yes. Some people are known to do that.
Some people are known to do that. I don't know who they are. But then you go to the reverse now. It's
Amy,
like
I think I'll do the flask cap, which is that lid that goes on your Yeti tumblers and you fill it with 5 shots of liquor and then you fill your glass with whatever and then you just look like you have a thing, but every time you push the plunger, it puts the shot of alcohol into your drink. Super alcoholic idea.
I didn't know you had that.
Yes, you knew I had that. I took it on the boat.
No, I thought you talked about getting that.
No, I have
See
one.
how oblivious I am.
Clearly, jeez.
But no, the other thing, then I've known people are like, no, I'm just going to take my own.
Oh, and alcohol?
Yeah. I mean, I've known people who have now just taken, they're like, I'll just take my own to a wedding. I don't care. I will take my own NA beverage. If they're not going to have anything for me, I will take it on my own. And
NA choices?
Uh-huh. I cannot tell you. I have told you, I've probably talked to in the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks, 5 people who have told me that.
You know what? I would have an easier time pushing back on somebody who said I couldn't bring that in versus if I was trying to bring in alcohol. Because you have alcohol and you're trying to sell the alcohol for a premium. Okay, I get that.
But no, I'm talking about events that didn't have alcohol.
Oh, that you were trying to bring in NA stuff?
No, I'm talking about previously taking in alcohol
to things that didn't have
alcohol.
I was not talking NA things.
So now you can just take that, that skill set that you have developed.
And do it with NA drinks.
You can do it with NA drinks. But then again, like if you're going to go to beer gardens and that, we just go where we know that they're going to have NA options for us.
Yep.
And, you know, and I
didn't go to an event the other night. I'm like, I'd love to go, but there's nothing there I can drink other than an iced tea. So I'm not going to go.
Yeah. And I mean, and I guess it also depends on what the event is.
Sure.
There's certain events and certain people who would be there. I would definitely go and I would.
I'm talking like a general after work,
yeah,
coworker drinking thing. I'm like, why am I going? I don't need to. No.
I've seen you all day. I love you, but I
don't need to go drink iced tea with you.
I know. I think that's the other thing. You really start to prioritize.
That's true.
You really start to prioritize what is important. And
before I would have gone, it's like, oh yeah, I'll go drink. I like to drink. I'll drink.
Yeah.
And that was actually the only reason I was going. It's like, oh, and you people happen to be here too.
I know. And that's kind of sad. And I know that not everybody is like that, but I know we had gotten to the point in our drinking careers that that's where we were at with it.
The good news, Amy, is we're just as fun not drinking as we are.
I think we are.
We think we're fun.
I think I'm fun. And you know what? Quite honestly, I think that's really, with the two of us, that's the most important thing. Is at least you think I'm fun.
You know who doesn't think we're fun? Our kids.
I think they think we're okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty good.
Hey, they're young adults. I think that, being at that okay level is all right now.
Okay's pretty okay, huh?
Once there's going to be a few more years, and then I think they're going to be like, all right.
Okay.
I like them. They always, no, in our family, we've always had the saying, I love you. Right now, I might not like you very
Well,
much.
and I always say, I'm not paid to be your friend. I'm paid to be your parent.
Yeah.
But I'm not paid at all, so there you go. All right, kids. Well, thank you for tuning in this week to the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast. If you want to send us your feedback and comments and suggestions, and no suggestions, we're good. Feedback at afmpodcast.com.
Or anybody who you might want to have us interview, or if you'd like to be on the show.
Or if you'd like to talk to Coach Amy one-on-one, you can email her, amy@joyontheotherside.com. That's always a fun option for you. Yes.
Oh, and also, remember, I will be mentoring in the live alcohol experiment this July 1st, so you can have a dry July, and I will be in there helping cheer you along if you want to take a break from alcohol.
Dry July. Can we only be sober in months that rhyme? Dry July, sober October. That's just dry January.
I don't think anything goes with August, but...
Don't drink. I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
No,
Does
but
anything rhyme with
anyways,
August?
but I would love to. We'll put the link there in the bio for you. And if there's anything else that you need, please reach out.
Yep.
Either one of us are here to help and support you.
AFMpodcast.com for all those links if you want to watch us on the YouTubes. We're also Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast on the YouTubes. But I think that's it for this
And
week.
then you can see your fun graphics.
Yes, all my fun graphics. All right, kids. I'm Matt, along with Coach Amy, wishing you peace and love from the cornfields. And we are out.